At EDPR, safety is our highest priority.
It's all of our responsibilities to keep each other safe.
We're going to lay out some rules and expectations for you while you're working on our sites.
Please take this seriously.
To keep me safe.
To keep you safe.
And to keep all of us safe.
EDP Renewables North America owns and operates wind farms and solar parks in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It's important to EDPR to be a good neighbor in every community where we work. Safety preparation. We're committed to the safety of our employees, contractors, visitors, and the public. This presentation highlights the policies in place to keep our workplace safe for everyone. All of our contractors must follow these rules anytime they're working on one of our sites. Before you arrive at our site, please ensure that you have reviewed all safety materials. This may include providing proper training certificates and clearances, and reading and filling out documentation sent to you by EDPR representatives. If you have any questions, please ask your EDPR contact. Upon arrival at our site, all contractors and visitors must sign in at the Operations and Maintenance Building. While on site, if you witness any safety hazards or are involved in any injuries, near misses, or environmental incidents, report it immediately to the Operations Manager. A daily job safety analysis shall be performed by the lead technician or supervisor. It should identify the scope of work for the day, any potential hazards, and how to control them. All crew members will sign the job safety analysis after it has been discussed. In addition, all personnel and contractors must attend a regularly scheduled site safety meeting.
Safety is a big priority for EDPR. You take the time to do a job safety analysis, you actually get to analyze every step that you're going to take, you identify possible outcomes, and you're able to address them before you encounter that. And if you are to have an emergency situation, you already know what to do and when to do it.
As an energy company, one common potential hazard at all EDPR sites is medium and high voltage equipment. It is extremely important to verify isolation and zero energy before any work begins.
Each and every time we work with medium or high voltage equipment, safety is obviously the top priority. The incident energy from medium high voltage equipment can cause serious injuries. When we prepare to work on medium and high voltage equipment, a lot of things need to be coordinated. The rock teams, high voltage teams, a JSA needs to be filled out, and OTOs need to be performed during any kind of switching operations.
Driving on site.
I would say that driving in general is more dangerous than climbing a turbine. You have to take the proper precautions while you're driving into work. We hope that everybody pays attention to our safety driving rules.
EDPR expects all of our employees and contractors to respect the rules of the road at all times. All employees and contractors who drive on site must have a current and valid driver's license and insurance. Posted speed limits must be observed on both public and access roads. Seat belts must be worn by all occupants when traveling in all powered vehicles. Cell phone use is prohibited for the driver. All site vehicles will provide right-of-way to farm vehicles and school buses. Vehicles shall stay on established roads. Do not cut across agricultural fields. Slow down when workers or livestock are present, visibility is impaired, or road conditions are unfavorable. Use hazard lights when parked near roadways. Gates should be left in the condition in which they were found. When working near roads, digging trenches, or blocking part of the road, it's very important to use high visibility traffic control measures. Use a spotter when backing up a vehicle. Maintain emergency response equipment in each vehicle, including a first aid kit and fire extinguisher. At wind farms, park vehicles with the hood facing into the wind to control the door when opened.
Safety at work is important to my family just because if I don't come home from work, who's going to help take care of them?
Personal protective equipment. It's extremely important to wear the proper apparel and personal protective equipment for your job. All contractors should wear required PPE as defined by the PPE matrix. Hard hats and safety glasses must be worn in areas identified by EDPR. Protective footwear must be worn while working on any EDPR site. All jewelry should be removed before working on any energized equipment. Working with our power production assets.
I feel 110% safe when I'm climbing with my coworkers.
I trust my coworkers with my safety, 100%.
I trust my coworkers 100%.
It's on us to watch each other's back, and we rely on each other to save our lives in the event of an emergency.
It's important to keep my coworkers safe because we all have families.
Wind and solar sites are safe places to visit and work, but as with any job site, there can be hazards associated with working on power production assets. With proper precautions, you can ensure your safety and that of your crew while working with these gentle giants and peaceful panels. When working with solar panels, watch for pinch points around the moving panels, which track the sun. When working with wind turbines, please keep in mind the following rules. All personnel working in or on the turbine must review and comply with the turbine safety instructions set out by the turbine manufacturer. All wind turbine tower climbs require a tower rescue kit with rope the appropriate length for the height of the turbines on site and an emergency kit. 100% tie-off fall protection is required when working at heights of 4 feet or more. Secure tools and other work materials to prevent dropped objects. Always perform a buddy check. Wind turbine tower doors must never be locked from the inside. Rigging operations should be carefully planned. Only qualified workers may work near the drop zone. During extreme weather conditions, including ice and snow, special care should be taken when approaching a turbine. During icing conditions, call to request a turbine pause via SCADA and allow the blades to come to a complete stop before attempting access. In icy conditions, exit the vehicle as close to the turbine as possible to minimize exposure to potential hazards. All personnel working on solar panels or wind turbines should have the proper training. On-site conduct.
I grew up here in this community, so it's very important for me for EDPR to be a respectful neighbor.
EDPR has high expectations for our personnel and contractors. It's extremely important to represent our culture of safety and respect in every community where we have a presence. To ensure a safe and healthful place for all personnel, use of tobacco products is restricted to designated outdoor areas only. No controlled substances, alcohol, weapons, or firearms are permitted anywhere on this site by employees or contractors. If you're currently taking any medication that could impair your ability to perform your work safely, please alert site personnel of any specific accommodations you may require. EDPR is a positive and harassment-free workplace. Aggressive behavior is not tolerated. If you encounter a disgruntled individual, do not argue with the person. Be polite, professional, and courteous. Document their concerns and communicate that you will report the issue to EDPR site management immediately. Be aware of the potential presence of hunters. During hunting season, wear bright colors while working in the field. Respect the environment.
Keeping wildlife safe is important to EDPR because we are stewards of the earth, of the planet. And so everything we do, we want to give back to the planet and protect all wildlife and all species of flora and fauna.
Part of our safety is keeping us safe from animals that could hurt us.
We are sharing this natural space with wild and domestic animals. Do not feed, harass, or kill any animals. Be aware of your surroundings at all times, because dangerous wildlife may not be clearly visible. Remember to look before you step, touch, or reach into blind places. Report any potentially dangerous or invasive wildlife, like snakes, bees, or wasps, so they can be properly controlled. EDPR cares about the environment and performs extensive biological studies at all of our sites. If you see a dead or injured animal, report it to the operations manager immediately. Local plants and livestock should be treated with respect and left alone. All waste and recycling should be secured and contained until it can be disposed of properly. Secure any trash to the bed of a truck so it does not fall out. Please recycle where facilities are available. Oil, solvent, paint, and other chemicals should be stored or disposed of properly. Other important training and hazards.
It's important to keep my coworkers safe for multiple reasons, but the primary reason, number one, is to make sure that they go home to their families the same way that they came in.
There are a few other potential hazards that you might encounter while working at an EDPR site. It's important to have proper training and take careful precautions. All equipment operators must be properly trained with valid records of training and certificates. Use spotters when working with heavy equipment and keep yourself and others out of the line of fire. High visibility barriers and signage must be posted around open excavations and trenches. Fire prevention measures must be followed. For example, a hot work permit must be completed before performing any high temperature work, such as welding or using open flame torches. All personnel should be familiar with the site's emergency procedures and should be equipped to handle potential incidents. All teams shall carry a two-way radio at all times. Familiarize yourself with the correct procedures to follow in emergency situations. An emergency response plan is available to all site personnel.
We want to welcome every contractor to an EDPR site, and we want to make sure that you are staying safe. We look forward to working with you.